John Virgo has left an unmistakable silence in the world of snooker. For decades, his voice carried the drama of the sport's greatest moments, his commentary becoming as familiar to fans as the green baize itself. Now, following his passing at the age of 79 on February 4, 2026, at his home near Malaga, Spain, the snooker community is reflecting on his extraordinary journey, and we are going to update you about the memorial arrangements and how the sport plans to honor him. John Virgo's story began long before the commentary box, long before the catchphrases, and long before he became part of the soundtrack of the Crucible Theatre. Born in England, he came of age during snooker's golden era in the 1970s. It was a time when the sport was growing rapidly in popularity, moving from smoky halls into mainstream television. Virgo was right at the center of that rise. His defining achievement came in 1979 when he won the UK Championship. That victory was not just another trophy. It was a breakthrough moment that confirmed his place among the elite players of his generation. The UK Championship was already one of the sport's most prestigious titles, and lifting that trophy elevated him into snooker's top tier. For fans who followed the sport at the time, that win remains one of the clearest memories of his playing career. As a competitor, Virgo was known for his bold approach. He was not a cautious, safety-first player. He liked to attack. He believed in committing to a shot and trusting his instincts. That confidence sometimes brought spectacular success and sometimes dramatic risk, but it made him compelling to watch. Fellow professionals respected his willingness to take on difficult pots under pressure. Although he competed in numerous tournaments throughout his career, including appearances at the World Championship, it was that 1979 UK title that stood as the peak of his playing achievements. It secured his legacy as more than just a personality. He was a champion in his own right. Yet what truly made John Virgo a household name was what came after his competitive career. When he transitioned into broadcasting, he found a second calling that would define the next several decades of his life. Joining the BBC commentary team, Virgo quickly developed a distinctive style. He understood that snooker is a game of tension and patience. He knew that silence can be just as powerful as speech. His commentary was measured, precise, and perfectly timed. He did not shout, he did not over-explain. Instead, he built anticipation with subtlety. And then there was that line, the phrase that became part of sporting folklore. Where the cue ball going, it was delivered in moments of suspense, often as a player attempted a tricky positional shot. Fans came to love it. They would smile the moment they heard the opening words. The catchphrase was never forced. It felt spontaneous, emerging naturally from the drama unfolding on the table. Over time, it became inseparable from his identity as a commentator. It symbolized his instinct for reading the game. Year after year, Virgo became a permanent fixture at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield, home of the World Snooker Championship. For 17 days each spring, the eyes of the snooker world turned to that historic venue, and almost every year John Virgo was there narrating the action. For players, hearing his voice call their matches was part of reaching the highest level. For fans watching at home, it was comforting. His presence meant that it was truly championship time. But Virgo's influence extended far beyond the professional circuit. In the 1990s, he became a familiar face to millions of viewers through the BBC entertainment show Big Break. Co-hosting alongside comedian Jim Davidson, he helped blend snooker with humor and lighthearted competition. The show attracted a broad audience and introduced the sport to families who might never have tuned into a traditional tournament. Big Break was more than a television program. It became part of British pop culture. Children learned about snooker through trick shots and celebrity appearances. Parents watched together with their kids. Virgo's ability to balance professionalism with warmth made him ideal for the role. He respected the sport but did not take himself too seriously. Despite his fame, those who worked closely with him describe him as grounded and approachable. Younger commentators often speak about how generous he was with advice. He never guarded his knowledge. He understood that broadcasting is a craft that must be passed down. When news of his passing was announced, tributes came quickly and from every corner of the snooker world. Former world champions, current top players, fellow commentators, and fans shared memories. Stephen Hendry admitted he was dreading the upcoming World Championship without Virgo's voice in the booth. That feeling has been echoed by many who grew up with his commentary. The timing of his passing makes this year's World Championship particularly emotional. The tournament runs from April 18 to May 4, and many of the sport's biggest names will already be in Sheffield preparing for the event. It is in that city, synonymous with snooker history, that the community will gather to pay tribute. public memorial service has been arranged at Sheffield Cathedral on Thursday, April 16, at 1 p.m., just 2 days before the championship begins. The event has been organized in part by 1997 world champion Ken Doherty and respected Master of Ceremonies Rob Walker. Their aim was to create an open and inclusive event that would allow the entire snooker community to come together. The memorial is open to fans, colleagues, and anyone wishing to pay their respects. Organizers have encouraged supporters to submit their favorite Virgo stories and memories via email. Selected tributes will be read aloud during the ceremony, ensuring that fans have a voice in the farewell. Later that same evening, the Champions Dinner will take place, bringing together past and present world champions for a special gathering. That dinner, modeled after golf's Masters tradition, has become a highlight of Championship Week. This year, it will carry added significance as stories of Virgo's contributions are shared among the sport's elite. Virgo is survived by his second wife Rosie, their 2 children Brooke Lee and Gary, and 2 granddaughters. His family has expressed gratitude for the messages of support that have poured in from across the globe. His legacy spans multiple chapters. As a player, he achieved championship glory. As a commentator, he defined how millions experienced snooker's most dramatic moments. As a television personality, he helped broaden the sport's appeal. When a final reached its climax, his voice enhanced the tension without overwhelming it. That balance is rare. Commentary is an art form. It requires timing, empathy, and deep understanding of the game. Virgo possessed all 3. The Crucible Theater will feel different this year. The audience will still fill the seats. The balls will still crack against each other under the lights. Champions will still lift trophies, but there will be a subtle absence, the missing tone that once narrated those climactic frames. Yet his influence remains deeply embedded. His recordings will continue to be replayed. His catchphrase will live on in highlight packages. Young broadcasters who grew up listening to him will carry forward elements of his style. The private funeral service has been arranged by the family, with attendance limited to close relatives and friends due to scheduling commitments during the competitive season. The public memorial at Sheffield Cathedral offers the broader community a chance to say goodbye. In the coming weeks, tributes are expected to continue. Broadcasters may air special segments honoring his career, players may dedicate frames in his memory, and fans will revisit classic matches where his commentary captured unforgettable drama. Virgo's life tells a story of reinvention and dedication. From UK champion in 1979 to one of the most recognizable voices in sports broadcasting, he transitioned seamlessly from player to storyteller of the game. As Sheffield prepares for another world championship, the snooker world will carry his memory with it. And when a crucial shot is struck and the cue ball travels across the table, many will instinctively hear his voice in their minds. At Sheffield Cathedral on April 16, the community will gather not just to mourn but to celebrate, to reflect on a life that enriched a sport, to remember a man whose voice became part of snooker's identity. And to say thank you for the championships, the commentary, the laughter, and the unforgettable question that will echo in the history of the game for years to come.